what's going on, guys? It's Cynical and welcome back to another Kingdom Hearts 3 news and information video. Today for you guys we have some interesting stuff to talk about, as recently the file size for that of Kingdom Hearts 3 has been revealed via the Microsoft Store for Xbox One. Now the file size will be very similar for PlayStation 4, but the file size comes in at 35.81 gigabytes. Now I understand that a few of us were probably expecting the file size for the game to be a little bit bigger than that of 35 gigabytes. And I think this mainly stems back to one of the comments that Tetsuya Nomura made earlier this year, where in one of the Famitsu interviews he mentioned, while it is hard to represent the state of development as a percentage, Nomura is worried that the volume is too great and they won't have enough space. While the staff is turning some cutscenes into movies in order to reduce load times in those instances, their capacity is greater than expected. So from this comment back in June of this year, a lot of us were led to believe that, oh shit, okay, the file size for Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be absolutely insane, and sort of gave us a little bit of an indication that Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be absolutely massive. They were pretty much stating here that the volume size for Kingdom Hearts 3 is so big where they're at the point where they're actually worried where they won't have enough space to fit absolutely everything from the game onto the disc. Now we have to also understand that Kingdom Hearts 3 will likely receive a day one patch. This is pretty standard for video games these days, but when we look at the 35.8 gigabyte file size for Kingdom Hearts 3, that is just the base installation for the game. So I'm assuming that there will be a day one patch of some sorts. The day one patch file sizes can range from anywhere below 1 gig all the way upwards. So I'm probably expecting, honestly, a maybe 3 gigabyte upwards day one patch for the game. But honestly speaking, I have to say that this file size is still pretty damn big. And I wouldn't take this as Kingdom Hearts 3 is not going to be as big as expected, or it's not going to be this big, massive, huge, crazy expansive game that we were all thinking that it was going to be. Because if we look at other AAA titled games, Skyrim for instance, the special edition, which comes with remastered visuals, also including all of the DLC content, comes in at 12 gigabytes. Now that's pretty insane when you actually think about the size of Skyrim, also considering that the game is an open world game. Final Fantasy 15 comes in at 50 gigabytes, but considering the fact that that game is an open world game, it makes sense that the file size would be somewhere around that mark. Horizon Zero Dawn, another open world game, comes in at the 40 gigabyte mark. Now Kingdom Hearts 3 is not an open world game, although the areas that we get to explore throughout the game are a lot more expansive than previous entries into the Kingdom Hearts series. The game is certainly not an open world title. So because of the fact that Kingdom Hearts 3's file size is almost around the same size as something like Horizon Zero Dawn, or even creeping upwards towards that of Final Fantasy 15, considering that the game isn't open world, I'd say that's still pretty damn impressive. And also taking into account the Persona 5 was about 20 gigabytes to install, and that game has hundreds and hundreds of hours of playtime. Now we know that the game length of Kingdom Hearts 3 is about 80 plus hours, not too sure if that is including just the story content or of course the side content thrown into the mix as well, but that's a pretty damn long experience. Now to no one's surprise, Kingdom Hearts 3 is the biggest in sheer file size compared to any of the other previous Kingdom Hearts titles. This is an interesting comparison though. Kingdom Hearts 1 came in at 3 gigabytes, Kingdom Hearts 2 came in at 4 gigabytes, Dream Drop Distance came in at 2 gigabytes, Birth by Sleep came in at about 1.5 gigabytes, 1.5 HD Remix came in at 22 gigabytes, 2.5 HD Remix came in at 20 gigabytes, and finally 2.8 came in at about 29.5 gigabytes. So yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3, to no one's surprise, is the biggest in terms of the file size, but even if you were to include 1.5 and 2.5 together, Kingdom Hearts 3 is almost as big in sheer file size as all of those games combined together, included 4 playable titles and 2 movie titles. That's a lot of content when you compare it against one standalone game. game. When you look towards all of these Kingdom Hearts titles, mainly number 1, number 2, Dream Drop Distance, and Birth by Sleep, by the time you get around to finishing absolutely everything in those games, you're gonna end up around the 40 to 50, sometimes even 60-hour mark. So considering that the file sizes of these older Kingdom Hearts games don't go over that of the 5GB mark, and yet there's still so many hours of content to be experienced within each of these titles. So with Kingdom Hearts 3 coming in at the 35GB mark, and yes, although a lot of the space is now consumed by higher res textures, a lot more cutscenes these days, and better graphic fidelity, still I have no worries towards this not being a lengthy experience. You can still fit a lot of content packed into 35 gigs, keeping in mind that a lot of this will be compressed stuff as well in order for it to all fit on the Blu-ray disc. But however guys, that is pretty much all for today's news and information. In the comment section down below guys, please do let me know your thoughts and opinions. Is the file size as big as you expected it, or maybe not as much as you were expecting? However dudes, I'm Cynical, hopefully you're having a fantastic day, and until next time guys, I'll catch you later. Peace.
Hit them on the page, you'll be coming through stunning. Go dip my mouth when you suckers be bluffing. Milk crate, gaming up the bitch though. Catch me in the back playing Super Nintendo.